What is up, guys? Tired here, and welcome to another quick character overview video. This time for Nine, the newly released Lancer type character on the global server of DFFOO. So, yeah, on the background, I do have my complete run for Nine's Chaos Challenge. Unfortunately, this party is not optimized to show Nine's HP damage mitigation. As we all know, as you can see, I do have Basch, who basically just receives all of the HP damage and tanks all of the HP damage. So the White Knight buff, I think it doesn't even apply to Basch because he does have so many framed buffs. But yeah, I have 9, a max upgraded 9 with not so good artifacts. I'm also using a 0 out of 3 Fujin. It helps that his brave damage from her EX ability is basically giving her battery, so he can still do some damage with his HP attack, even though it is not an upgraded version of her HP attack. And also, as you all know, Bash, which basically just trivializes fights currently. So yeah, before I proceed with Nine's overview, I would like to give a quick shout out to the creators of the DecidiaDB.com website, as well as the Tonberry Troupe, as most of the information that I will be sharing with you guys were taken from their site. So yeah, without further ado, let's proceed with Nine's quick overview. So, Nine is a ranged attacker that uses spears as his weapon. He can provide HP damage mitigation, shield, and even heals to the party. Some would compare him to Warrior of Light, but for me, they both function differently. While Nine can provide strong shields, for me, he is more inclined to AoE Brave Shaving, heals, and HP damage mitigation. While Warrior of Light is more inclined to tanking with his taunt, and he can battery the party pretty well. Speaking of Warrior of Light, his LD and Burst is coming up soon, so yeah. As for Nine's comparison with the Beatrix, they both can provide HP damage mitigation, but the difference is how that damage mitigation buff is used by the party, which I will discuss more on later. So let's proceed on discussing about Nine's skills. So his S1 is called Primal Roar. When used, Nine gains Brave and then performs a 4-hit AoE Brave and AoE HP attack with 210% overflow, and the damage is split equally among all enemies. This provides the party the Wild Guard buff, which is a Brave Shield based on the HP damage dealt by Nine's S1. Meaning, the more damage Primal Roar does, the stronger the shield it gives. It also grants 9 1 stack of Wild Roar if his S1 is used on a single enemy, and 2 stacks of Wild Roar if it is used on 2 or more enemies. Wild Roar grants 9 additional 20% speed, 10% attack, and 20% max brave, plus additional 10% attack and max brave per stack of the buff. the maximum stack of Wild Roar is at 5 stacks. His S2 is called Whirling Lance, which is a 6-hit AoE Brave plus single target HP attack that has 165% overflow and 50% splash damage to non-targeted enemies. This skill will heal 9's HP, and any excess heal from 9 will heal his allies. This skill also grants him stacks of his Wild Roar buff. The stack again is depending on the number of enemies present. Using Whirling Lance with 5 stacks of Wild Roar will improve the splash damage from 50% to 80%. So this is Nine's AoE Brave Shaping ability, and I guess you could say his go-to damage dealing skill. Please keep in mind that the heal on this skill will primarily heal 9, and then any excess of that heal will transfer to his allies. So I guess you could say don't expect your allies to be healed too much using this skill, as the skill is primarily targeting the heal for 9. Onto his EX ability, Laser Lance. Laser Lance is a 6-hit AoE Brave plus single target HP attack executed 3 times. He gains Brave every after HP damage except the last. The last HP hit has a 20% splash, and this ability can also heal the party by 60% of the HP damage dealt. This is a very powerful ability and can deal at least 200k HP damage. However, the downside for this ability is that the recharge time is so slow. Laser Lance also grants 9 his Wild Lancer buff, which increases his attack and Brave Overflow. So right now, this EX ability animation probably is one of my favorite. The animation and the way he throws his spear just makes it look very, very strong. So yeah, just a side note on that. I do enjoy the animation of this EX ability. Alright, so let's move to his LD ability, White Knight. This ability batteries the party and provides the buff White Knight. This has no action delay and does not increase turn count. The buff White Knight is a 6-turn buff that increases the attack by 20% and the overflow by 10%. While this buff is active, any HP damage received by 9 and his allies turns to 0. Keep in mind that this buff is applied to the party separately, meaning if one party member takes an HP damage, that unit's White Knight buff will be consumed. With that said, it is best to keep track on which party member will receive HP damage and which party member will not. Once the White Knight buff is consumed, it turns into Rebellious Fang, which is basically an offensive buff that raises the attack by 40% and overflow by 30%, but the HP damage mitigation buff is gone, or the effect is not applied. Keep in mind that when using 9's LD while the Rebellious Fang is up, we'll overwrite it with the White Knight buff, meaning both Rebellious Fang and White Knight cannot be active at the same time. Now let's discuss about his Brave and HP attacks. When Wild Roar is active, his Brave attack turns into Jump, which is a 3-hit AoE Brave attack, and his HP attack turns into High Jump, which is a 2-hit AoE Brave plus single target HP attack with 20% splash damage. Having his Wild Lancer buff active will turn his Brave attack into Jump Plus, which batteries the party, and then 9 does a 4-hit AoE Brave attack. His HP attack will also turn into High Jump Plus, which will now be a 3-hit AoE Brave plus single target HP attack with 20% overflow and or rather it has a 120% overflow and 20% splash damage. His High Jump Plus is a very good alternative for Whirling Lands. It does this version of his HP attack does so much damage that sometimes 9 can reach the cap, the damage cap, basically just because his High Jump Plus does AoE Brave and AoE HP attack. So yeah, very powerful alternative to his Whirling Lands. Lastly, onto his AA ability, Boost Thrust. So it is a instant turn rate 2-hit AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack, and the HP damage is split equally among all enemies. It also raises 9's max Brave by 20% for 2 turns. So yeah, just an additional, I think, three uses of HP attack from 9, and yeah, it is you could say that it is an okay AA ability for him. So yeah, there you have it, guys. My very quick overview for 9, and I do hope that you guys learn something with this overview, and I highly suggest you guys to check the Tonberry Troupe website. I will be linking their site in the description box below, and yeah, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, enjoy watching my perfect run for the Chaos Challenge, and I will see you guys on the next video, which is probably the pull video for Ardeen. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
かせろこら。おらおらおらおらおら。
全滅。
串刺しにすんぞこら。波動よ。これで終わりにしてやるよこら。串刺しにすんぞこら。待てこら。結露を開く。 皆怪我はないか。